this is Elena here. Hello, let's see. It says live video starting. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you're having a great Monday. I wanted to come and do a live here. And today we're gonna cover variables. And I know that you might wonder, what are variables for? Where can I use the variables? So when you create email templates, for example, there sometimes you use variables that are words that will replace the name, some data from your clients or leads. And I'm gonna show you how you can create a variable here in ActiveCampaign. So if you have an account, go ahead and let's go here. Okay, you click on campaign, and then you're gonna see these manage variables. So now go ahead and click manage variables, and let's create one variable. Here you will see add. Let me remove this from the middle. Add. So you can name this, for example, let's see. Why don't we use the logo one? I already have logo. Let me remove my logo so I can teach you from the beginning, because I already have one and I don't want to create. I want to start again. So click on add. Let's name it logo, and here you're gonna put logo, but you have to use underscore for the entire word. So you'll see that a percentage variable here, then it's gonna have the name and then that tag again. And here you're gonna select all. If it's not selected, it is important that before you add the variables you already have all the lists created. That way you don't have to click here on all. But if you see that it's white like this, it means that it's only covering the list affiliates. So choose all, and then what you're gonna do here, if it's a logo, you see sometimes we change our images from our company. So sometimes we have a logo today, and then 1 year later we change the logo, we change the colors, I don't know, something happens. And imagine that you have to manually change in each email your logo, because an error that a lot of people make is that they add the logo manually. I mean, they insert the logo in each email, but that is not a good idea, because if you change something, if you change the logo in the future, you will have to manually go into each email and replace that logo. And this is why we use variables. So now I'm going to show you how you can insert your logo here. So you see that little tree here, you click there, and you're going to click here so you can add your logo. In this case, let me see if I have my logo here. Let's add a new image, and let's find my logo. And so let's see my new logo. So for example, me, I changed my logo recently. So imagine that I had to manually go into each email. So click on open. That logo will show up here. Let's see if it's here. Logo. Okay. Let me see if that's the one. No, that's not the one that I want. I don't know why it's not showing me my logo. Oh, here. Systemize a new logo. Okay, choose. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna be too big. So click on appearance, and what you're gonna do is put this, for example, 250. Automatically it will change this number as well. So now you can insert it, and it's gonna be smaller than before, but I think it's also too big. So I'm gonna click outside this outside the logo. I'm not gonna click the logo, I'm gonna click outside, and then I'm gonna click back here. In appearance, I'm gonna reduce it, I'm gonna put 200, update. So I think now it looks better. I'm gonna put it in the middle so I align to center. So every time I'm gonna show you now how you can use these. So we have that variable already, we have the logo. Now we're gonna add, let me remove the signature because I have it. Let me remove this so we can add it again. Let's click on add, and let's click on signature. Let's add the name signature. But here, remember, don't use capitals. Always use lowercase, signature. Okay. So now I'm gonna add, for example, Elena. This is what I want in my signature. And then it's support at systemizer.com. In my website, services.systemizer.com. Okay, now I'm going to select everything. I'm gonna change the size maybe to 12 so it doesn't look too big. I like to use the 12 because as we send emails to mobiles, sometimes if it's too big, it's gonna be too big in the phone. So I like to use that, and you can change, the font type and everything. Let's use this. And now I'm gonna leave it on the left because I like the signature on the left. But if you want it aligned to center, you can also do that. If, for example, you want to add a link, imagine that you want to add a book here. Select everything here, and then click here and add the link. In my case, I have a booking link that I can get. So let me use appointments. So I can grab my link, copy, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add it here, link URL, and I'm gonna paste it, insert it, and now I'm gonna add it. Okay, now we have the most important things that you need in your email templates, your logo and your signature. So now we're gonna go ahead and create a template. Let's go to manage templates, because if you create one template, you can use that template to create all your emails. So you don't have to, lose a lot of time creating your email templates. So now go ahead and create a template. Let's start from scratch, and let's choose standard. Continue. Okay, now we're gonna change this title here. And we're gonna put, let's see, it's thinking. Okay, template test. Okay, as you can see, this is what happens. Sometimes we replace this image and we add the logo, and I don't want you to do that. We already talked about it. So let's remove this, and we're going to be adding here, click on insert, and we're gonna add a text block, and we're gonna drop it here. And I'm gonna leave a space because I don't want the logo to be too close to the paragraph. And now you remember we added the variable logo. So now we're gonna write this: percentage logo, percentage. Logo, remember, it should be in underscore. I repeat again because that is a mistake that we can make. We can put the L in capital and the variable won't be read. So now let's imagine this is the text, the paragraph. So welcome client and this and that, etc. So now I'm gonna insert another variable here. Let's drop here another text block, and I'm going to replace this, and I'm gonna add the variable signature. Okay, so now It doesn't matter if you modify this and change the font here. It doesn't matter because it's reading the variable, and it's gonna be with the font and color and everything that you created in the variable. So don't worry about that. Just worry about the paragraph here. Okay, so we have that email. You can modify the colors and everything you want, but today we're gonna just cover the variables. Now let's save it. Okay, now we're gonna go to automations because we have the template, and let's create an automation, which I was not gonna cover that, but I'm here already. So let's start from scratch. Let's click on continue. This is the base to start creating your own email templates and automation. So now we're gonna choose subscribe to a list because we want that every time you have a new client or a new lead, they start getting your emails. So what we're gonna choose our list called leads. That's why you always need your leads first. And let's run this once. Every time you get a new lead, they start getting your emails. If you choose multiple times, every time there's a lead, even if it's with the same email, it's gonna be starting sending the same email. So let's click on start. Now you're gonna see that these pop up, and let's click on send an email. Now you create an email. This is a welcome email for leads. Let's put whatever we want. Let me copy this because I'm gonna need the subject again, and I don't want to lose time. I'm always about saving time. So now you remember we created a template. So click on custom because there is where you're gonna find the templates that you created. They already have a lot of templates here, but that is why we created this template test. Select this one. And now we're gonna paste what we copied before. We can check that this information is correct. It is important that you know that the email that you use to create your ActiveCampaign account is the one that is going to be here. And you need to be using a business email. Never use a Gmail, Outlook, because it's gonna go to spam. You're gonna have a lot of trouble. They might even pause all your automations until you get your email with your domain. So go ahead, and when you create your account, try to use your business email. It is important that, if you use that email, that is the email that is going to appear, but you can also change it if you want to send this specific automation using another email. You can also replace this here. Now let's gonna click on continue. Okay, so now we have the template. We can modify this because this is the automation. So welcome client. If you want to book a consultation, click here. What you can use here, where it says here, you can create another variable called booking. And that variable could have your link to book an appointment. That way you don't have to write. That way if you change from jot form to another, I don't know, Calendly maybe, you don't have to go into each email and change the link. You just have to go one time to your variable and change that. So now let's save it. Okay. It is important that after you save it again here. Otherwise it's gonna be a draft and it's not gonna be sending the email. Now remember to add the name of your automation, welcome lead. Let's save it. Now we're gonna click on here so you see how the email will look like. So click on here and click on the eye, like a preview. And as you can see, you remember Where it says logo, it's gonna be replacing your logo. Where it says my signature, it's gonna be showing this. And when I click here, it's gonna send directly to my calendar. So after that, you can continue to add many emails. For example, I'm sorry, let me go back because we need to add a waiting period here. We cannot send the same another email the same day. So we're gonna add a condition here. Let's add a wait period, and let's add 7 days. I don't like sending, emails every day because what happens is that Google can categorize you as a spam. So you think your client might be receiving the emails and they are not. You might be in a blacklist. So try to use 7 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, I don't know. Then add sending options and send an email again. And what you can do here is you can copy and edit that same email that you had before. So copy and do that. It's gonna open, and you can change the subject as well. It's taking a little bit of time, I'm sorry. It's my internet. Okay, so now maybe you want to say, what is credit repair? I don't know. If you want emails, you can go to my store and get those emails templates. So you just have to modify the paragraph, and you have to modify this. To modify this, it won't let you modify it here, so you have to click here, and you have to modify the subject here. You see what it's settings. Now you're gonna put here what is credit repair. Then you have to copy this and paste it here as well. That way your campaign is called like this. Then you're gonna have to close it. Then you're gonna have to click next. And here you see where it says message name, you're gonna have to change that as well. So you have to change that 3 times: the subject, the message, and the test campaign. You can send yourself a test email if you want, and then you just have to click finish. And you just continue adding steps, adding 7 days, and then another email, and then 7 days. So now if you want to check how this email is gonna be sent, you just have to click on the preview. You see what is credit repair. And I forgot to add, hey, you can add, for example, the variable that they already have, for example, the first name. Let me show you that, because today is about variables. And let's see. Sometimes people like to be called by their name. So hi, then a comma, and then you click personalize. And here you're gonna have the variables that ActiveCampaign has. So click on first name, and then a comma again. And every time there's a new lead, it's gonna be reading the first name for that lead. Okay, then save and exit. Continue to add all those emails that you have. After you finish, and then you can leave it open like that, or you can add you can end the automation. So just click on conditions and workflow and end this automation. It looks better with the ending, but it won't affect if you don't have it. Remember to activate it, test it out. You have to at least have the trigger. So you need to create your SAP in Zapier. Because you don't really need to manually come here to start the automations. You can do, if you have another Dispute Fox, if you have Credit Repair Cloud Client Dispute Manager, you can create the triggers there in Zapier. And for example, if you change the link, if you change your logo, if you change your signature or add something to your signature, you don't have to manually come here and change it. Remember, you can go to campaigns here and change those one time in the variables by just editing the variable. So click Manage Variable, then click on Edit. Let's see the logo. Let's click on Edit, and then you just change that logo, modify it, and all your emails will be set up and running correctly. So let me see if there is someone that has a question. Anyone with a question? Yeah, KP, you know I'm random. I have little kids, so it's just wherever I can, I'm gonna come here. So I hope you guys have found this video helpful. I would like you to comment if you have questions, interact, and let me know if you have any if you need help. Thank you. Bye bye.